So our last lesson, we spoke about Python control flow statement. So we did some functions like if, else, elif, and the rest. So we want to continue, which I tag as part 2 of that tutorial. And if you remember last week, we spoke how you can, you can give some conditions to Python programming, and at the end of it, the Python will look at what you have and see if the condition is true. Then, if the condition is true, it gives you an outcome. For example, if you look at this one that I have here, all these control flow, they are more or less like a conditional statement. Once the conditions are met, there is what is expected of Python programming to execute. If the conditions are not met, you also give an output. For example, if x is equals to 4, now you see x is equals to 4, right? That is x is a variable and 4 is the value. If x is greater than 4, 5, greater than 5, print the square of x. So any moment, look, this is the condition. If x is greater than 4, 5, print the square of x. And to print the square of x is going to be x multiplied by x, right? S, that's if this condition is not true, print s is greater than 5. And that is what we do here. So because x is equals to 4, so the question is x is not greater than 5. Therefore, it can't print the square of this. So now let's assume, let's repeat this. So let's say x equals to, let's say x equals to 6, right? If x is greater than 5, right? Print x times, that's the square of x, right? S, print x is greater than 5. Anytime you want to print a statement like this is a string statement. X is greater than 5 is a string data. So you have to put it in bracket. Don't forget when we are talking about string and integer. So now let's run this script. Okay, so because there's no T here. Okay, now x is equals to 6. If s is greater than 5, print the square of s. That's print x multiplied by x. And if you look at the question is x greater than 5? The answer is yes. And once it is yes, then it will go and print the square of s, which is 6 times 6, and that is 36. That's a conditional statement. Now let's look at another thing that I use an example. If you are working on your iPhone and you enter your password, you already set your password on your iPhone. So any moment you press you enter your password, then your phone opens for you to be able to work with. But if you enter the wrong password, it won't open. It will tell you there is an error. And this is the concept. There's what is called input function in Python. This input function is a function that permits you to ask questions from someone, and they can input whatever value they want to input. Let's say, for example, this is password. Password is our variable. Now equals to input. This input means, by the time I run this program, you understand what I mean? Now enter password. If the password that the person is entering is 12345, print access granted. Yes, if the password is not this, print incorrect password, try again. Let me run this script. Now, anytime you see this input is saying to the person at the other end that input a value, enter a value. Now, you can see when this is password input, this input is the one that permits us to have this. Now, the value this enter password is what the person sees. So if I send this script to you, to anyone, and by the time the person click on it, this is what this person is going to see. Enter password. So let's assume I want to enter 5278. Me, I know the correct password is 12345. But to the person that is entering the password, he doesn't know, he just put 25276. And let's press enter. Let's run this. What is the response? Incorrect password. Try again. That's what it means. Now, let's try again. And let's use the correct password now. 12345. Run. Because we entered the correct password, it says access granted. That is the concept for iPhone, even for facial recognition. For facial recognition, they already set in the face of the person that is permitted to access that gate, that phone. So what, just like I saying, it just is like this. Let's say, for example, let's say face equals to input. This input means it will give you access to put whatever you want to put. Your face. Let's just put your face, right? Now, if face equals to let's say equals to John's face. Yeah, because I think I mentioned it the other time. Because you want to use apostrophe, so you have to use John's face. If that's now, then you enter, print door opened. Okay. Let's say phone unlock. Right? Now, yes. That's as if the answer is not John's face. Print phone is locked. Do you see that? So now let's run this script. Sorry, unmarked. Okay, sorry, this is not supposed to be here. Now, this is the information that that is the program that is already on your phone. That is the program on your phone. That the moment the camera is picking John's face, unlock the phone. Right? If it is not, sorry. It is not true. What's consequences? What is there? It's not supposed to be like this. Yes. What's happened? Well, it's now. Let me start the planning. Yes. What's wrong with it? So I don't know what's wrong with it. It's not showing up. It's not showing. What's happening? What's wrong with Python? Anaconda. Just give me 1 second. I don't know why the Python kernel is not responding. Let me. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know this the Python and the Python kernel just stopped working, so I have to restart that. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, as I was explaining, so the phone has been programmed to recognize John's face. If the face is John's face, the phone will unlock. If the phone is not John's face, the phone will still be locked. So now let's put now it's asking your face. Let's put Max face and see what happens. You see, it says phone is locked because that is not the correct password. Let's use now. John has let's say John has a younger brother or elder brother that look exactly like John. So in this case, what we have here is let's use small letter John and let everything be the same face. Let's do that. What is this? Is John's brother. It looks exactly like John facially, but there are still some differences between the two of them. Now, so we put the original password is capital letter J, John's face, but now we change that to small letter and everything is the same. But it still says phone is locked until your phone sees John's face. That is when the phone can be unlocked. So let's now show John's face now. Phone unlocked. So all these things are based on the conditional control flow functions. If S, elif, when, why, that we've talked about in the last class. They are called control flow statements in Python. Control flow, in the sense that they control the flow of things. They control the flow. They are the conditional statements that Python will look at before an output can be given. So if the condition of those flows, of those functions, if, S, L, F, and the rest are not met, then you are going to get a different response. So in this case, we've tried max phase, we've tried different phases. Still, the phone is still not locked. It's still not unlocked. It's still locked. But now we have tried John's phase. So the condition there is it must be John. And to do that, like I said, let me just repeat that. Let me repeat that to be able to know. The function is, the first thing is define what you want to look for. For example, age. If age is the condition you want them to input, equals to, you can use the word input. If you want to ask people the question, input, what's your age, right? That is the first thing. Now, you want to ask them. Now, the next thing is to set the condition that you want. If peradventure this, maybe this video maybe you want to upload a video, and the video is not for kids, it's not for anyone that is below 10 years of age. So you can you can ask them, okay, for you to be able to access this video or document, you must be 10 years of age. And when you want to do that, you must first of all tell us your age. When you tell us your age, then we will know whether you are eligible to watch the document or the video or or anything, for example. So now, if age that is input here equals to, that is less than 18, maybe anybody below 18 can't watch, right? Print this document is not for you. You get that? S, that's if his age is more than that, print access to this document granted. You see that? It's a very straightforward command. Very straightforward. Now, let's print. It's not asking, what is your age? And I know there are documents like that. Even PDF document that you can only open them after you put the correct password. So what is your age? Let's say my age is I'm 16 or I'm 17. Let's see what happens. Sorry, I think there's an error. Okay, sorry, I think it says there's an error somewhere. Okay, so if age is okay, so just give me, let's see what this is saying. So This is supposed to go if age is greater than 8. It says this not supported between instance or string and integer. Okay, okay, because this is okay, because age in this case is a string. So it is a string, yes, and we are comparing it with an integer. So for us to do that, don't forget we can convert a string to what? To an integer, right? So let's use int age. Let's see. Can you see what we have here? This first statement says age, input your age. Whatever we input here, this is not saying it as an integer. It is seen as a string. And you cannot compare a string with an integer. So the next thing you do is in your program is if age, which is a string, you have to convert it to an integer now. So that you'll be able to compare whatever value this person is putting here to a number. And that is why I put this int. What this means, what this int means is integer. It means convert the value of age, which is already in string, to an integer. And if it is less than 18, print this document is not for you. Yes, if it is not less than, print access to this document granted. And that is exactly what. So you see what we just did now? It's just a matter of understanding and putting your language in a simple way for this this thing to understand. Let's see. Let's put 20. Access to this document granted, because it has compared this value of 20 to this, and it said, okay, yes, it is more than what? 18. Definitely access to this document is granted. So those are some of the conditional statement, control flow statements present in Python. Another important one is what is called chain multiply if statement in Python. And I put some statements here. In Python, the if condition statement has an elif block to chain multiple conditions, one after another. And I think we did the same. We did that last time when we on the previous video, on the previous class we had, and it's straightforward. I also talk about this divine def function. This divine function allows you to use. If you look at what I have here, anytime I want to change age, I always come here to come and adjust the value of age. I always run this script again. For example, I want to do this, I have to put, okay, let's say this is 20, this is 16. But if you use this function, there's no need for me again to run this. I already make what is called user built function or module. So in this case now, let's define users check. Let me use a simple users age. Let's use age, for example. Users age, let me put this age. I always like to use something that is easier to relate to it. So define users age, right? So if the age that this person is inputting here, if the age is equals to, let's say it's equals to, let's use that example, you want someone that is between the age of 18 to 40 to apply for something, but anyone below shouldn't apply. So if age, if age, anyone that is just 20 years old alone, for simplicity, equals to 20, print admit. If age equals to 19, print not admittable. Right? Now, you can give multiple conditions. That's why it's called multiple. So if you look at this one we did, just one or two conditions. If, but in this case, you can say, okay, if age equals, okay, sorry, if age equals 19, put apply in a year time. That means since the admission is for people that is of 20 years old. So if your age is 19, the person to apply next year. Now, if your age is 30, if the user's age is 30, print not eligible for admission. Now, if all these things are not true, S, print wrong entry. That means the person is not allowed. Now, look at it now. Let's run this now. Now, this is what the user is getting. User underscore age now. So instead of us going to this place, entering again, anytime you just type user, use and paste tab, it will automatically bring it for you because you already defined this already. It's already defined. Now let's say this person's age is 20. Let's see what comes. Admit. Now let's assume user age now is 19. Apply in a year time. So let me use apply within, let me apply next year. So apply next year. So the user age is 30. Not eligible for admission. Can you see? So the question we are asking ourselves, how does the Python know which condition to follow? Because we already made it clear for the Python, for the programming language, that if this condition is met, this is the response. This condition is met, this is the response. Just like you talking to a fellow colleague that, please, as soon as it is 5 o'clock CST, wake me up. So the moment, even if it is 1 minute to 5 p.m., that colleague is not expected to wake you up. The only condition for waking you up is 5 p.m. CST. It can't wake you up 5 p.m. EST. It can't wake you up 5 p.m. GMT. It can only wake you up 5 p.m. CST. That is the condition. Or you can say, okay, when it is 5 p.m. CST, wake me up. When it is 2 p.m. CST, bring my shoe to my bed, but don't wake me up. So as soon as each time is getting closer, is already clocked, if you do exactly what you have instructed him or her to do, that is it. That is exactly what you have done here. And put it in a simple term, the first thing is to define that your variable, which is your user underscore age. Yours can be maybe height. the person's height, or the person's hair color, any example that you want to use. Then, for example, if we are talking about gender, user's gender, if it is a male, if it is, for example, if you are admitting someone to a all boys school, I don't know if there are schools like that, then whoever that enters girl as gender won't be permitted. A female as gender won't be permitted. So it's the same thing as this. So look at let's not try anything outside of this. User underscore age. Let's use 40 now. It says wrong entry, because that is the information we give. Once all these are not met, all these values are not met, then the next thing is to write this. So can you see the difference between what you have here and what you have here? This is just one or two statements, conditions rather. But in this case, we have multiple if statements, multiple conditions. So you can write your program with multiple conditions, and you still get whatever condition outcome you are expected for each condition. So another important control flow is the break statement. The break statement is used inside the loop to exit out of the loop. So if a loop is when you are printing something following each other, and the moment the condition is met, you tell it to stop. Let's see one example. For numbers, let me use numbers in range. Don't forget we talk about range. What this range means is it means from 0 to 10, from 0 to 9. So, yeah, from 0 to 9, right? So for number in this range of 0 to 10, now, if the number is less than 7, so if the number is greater than 7, print stop processing and what? Break. So the moment, so every time, if the number is, it will start from, let me try to do something so that we can understand what let me put range 10. So this range 10 means from 0 to 10. So now that means for number in 0 to 10, from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If the number is less than 7, print stop. So if the number is greater than 7, stop. But if the number is not greater than 7, continue to print the number. So stop and break. But if the number is not up to 7, it's not greater than 7, continue print X, print number. So I can use X, but if you use X, it means X in range. If X equal greater than 7, print X. But I purposely use number or understand, because if I use X, it will be asking where is Dr. Kennedy X. Now let's run this now. What is the first number from 0 to 10 is number 0. 0, right? 0 greater than 7? No. Once it is no, you print 0. The next number after 0 is 1. Is 1 greater than 7? No. It will print. The only time it will print stop, it is when the number is greater than 7. So for 1, it is less than 7, it will print 1. It will go again and go to the next number, which is 2. Not greater than 7, it will print. The next number is 3, not greater than 7, it will print. Next number is 4, not greater than 7, it will print. Next number is 5, not greater than 7, it will print. The next number is 6, not greater than 7, it will print. Next number is 7, 7 is not greater than 7, it will print. The next number is 8, and it's greater than 7. And what we say, once the number is greater than 7, print stop processing. and break. That break means stop. So the moment 8 is greater than 7, it prints stop processing and it stop the process. So the break exits from it. Do we get that? Let me do something to show the difference between these. Let me do something to show you one difference. Now, let me stop that, not to convince. So what that means, what this is doing now is keep printing until this condition is not met by at number 8, because 8 is greater than what? Greater than 7. So let's try another condition. That same, let's say for x in range, let's say 5 to 20, for example. Now, if x equals 15, right? And stop processing. Then break. Print x. Can you see what happened there? Now, our range starts from 5 to 20, right? The condition is if x equals to 10 to 15, print stop processing. Now, x is the first element, the first value of x in that range is 5. Not x is not equals to 15. It prints. It continues. By the time it gets to 15, x equals to 15, it stops. Can you see that? It automatically stops. So what we are trying, so the break function we ask the Python to stop going again over the loop. Let's try one more thing. Let me show you one more thing. Let's use that for x in range 5, 20. If x is, let me use greater than or equal to, greater than or equals to 10, print, let's just stop, right? Break, print x. Can you see? So the moment x is greater than or equals to, print stop. So it starts from 5. 5 is not greater than or equals to 10. 6 is not greater than or equals to 10. But the moment it gets to 10, 10 is, if 10 is not greater than 10, at least 10 is equals to 10. It stops. So the break statement is used to exit out of the loop. It is this break statement that make it stop doing the continue this process. That is what stop it from continuing this process. So another statement I want us to look is continue statement. Continue. The continue statement is used to skip the current iteration and continue with the next iteration. So let's see. Let's for y in range 3 to 10. If y equals to 10, continue s print. And when we run this, the first element in this range is 3. 3 is not equal to 10. So it prints y, right? The next one is 4 until it gets to 10. Y is equal to 10, right? By the time it gets to number 10, then what happened? It stopped printing. It stopped printing because y is now equal to 10. It continues to print. Let me show you. Let's remove this continue statement. This continue condition, and I want us to compare it. No. No. Now, if you look at this condition, if you look at this, it's only stop on the last number that is not equals to 10. No, let me use 9. I think. Let me use, okay. If y is equals to 8, print x, print y, x, print y. So anytime y is not equals to 8, anytime y equals to 8, we print y. And if it is not equals to, it will print whatever the value is. That is what we have there. So all these conditional statements are just there to set conditions, to set things in motion for